Today's video is about an ambitious 27-year-old lady with hopes of becoming a nurse. Candice was brutally murdered by a 50-year-old man in a location no one would have ever expected, shattering this fantasy. When authorities discovered a surveillance camera clip that helped them identify the suspect, her murder case was quickly solved. The clip presented today might teach all women how to effectively defend oneself in similar circumstances. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Candice's family and friends. Today's case takes us to Detroit. Detroit is a city located in the state of Michigan in the United States. It's situated on the banks of the Detroit River, which connects Lake Erie to Lake St. Clair. With a population of around 650,000, it is one of the largest cities in the Midwest region of the country. Detroit is known for its rich cultural heritage and its contributions to the automotive industry. It was once a thriving manufacturing center and the birthplace of Motown music. While Detroit has experienced some economic challenges in recent years, the city is undergoing a revitalization, with new businesses, restaurants, and entertainment venues popping up throughout the downtown area. Overall, Detroit is a fascinating city with a rich history and a lot to offer visitors and residents alike.
Our top story, the man suspected of killing a Detroit woman and then dumping her body in the trash behind bars. At 6, we reported James Cockerham was arrested on the city's west side, and tonight, only on Action News, we're hearing from the victim's family.
She'll never have a husband and my grandbabies. I won't ever see any grandbabies.
Diana can't imagine a world without her daughter Elizabeth Laird in it.
My daughter was bright. She's intelligent. I always wanted to be someone, special in life.
The 27-year-old student, who went by Candy, had dreams of becoming a nurse. Wednesday, police found her body in a dumpster. This is the man investigators think is responsible. Saturday, James Cockerham was arrested on the city's west side.
He should have never been let out.
Cockerham had previously served time for Detroit police say he met Laird in the elevator of this apartment building on the city's east side.
She did deserve this.
It's the worst feeling I ever felt in my life. I'm broken up in a million pieces.
Elizabeth Candice Laird was born on the 9th of April, 1992 in Detroit, Michigan. Candice was more commonly referred to as Candy. Martin Luther King High School was where Candy completed her studies. After graduating, she enrolled at Jackson College to pursue her goals of being a nurse while also learning to become a surgical technician. Her mother characterized her as a highly brilliant woman who was also doing well. Her hardworking nature and humility were praised by many who knew her, who saw others as more important than herself. Candice had a strong work ethic and succeeded academically, earning consecutive A's. She was so passionate about her career that she would record videos of herself setting up her workspace. In addition to being a diligent worker, Candy also had a strong sense of religion, which she frequently displayed on social media. She shared healing techniques, invited others to pray, and prayed for them as well. Laird dated Jay for 3 years. Throughout that time, she even posted love letters to him on Facebook, which clearly shows how much he meant to her. She visited her boyfriend's flat in the Parkview Towers in the Square Flat building on May 14th with the intention of spending time with him as usual, but she ultimately made the decision to leave the apartment. Her partner called the police and she was reported missing after realizing she had been gone for hours and had left her possessions behind. The body of a woman was discovered in a dumpster the following day, just outside the flat. The police were now seeking for a suspect because her missing person case had changed into a murder investigation since her body was found. When Candice Laird, the lady who had been discovered in a dumpster, was identified, it was established that her death had been caused by homicide. In addition, Candice was raped before her death, according to the medical examiner. Candy's murder occurred in a fairly quiet neighborhood, which made the locals anxious.
Every night I take out the trash and I look in the dumpster and I always think that, like, what if it's someone in here? And then it turned out it was somebody in that one. I mean, that's just really scary. It's very surprising it happened out here because it's a lot of, like, older folks' homes around, so I wouldn't expect. It's pretty quiet, so.
Jay, Candy's boyfriend, was interrogated but later released once his alibi was established and he was taken off the suspect list due to the fact that he was the last person to see Candy. Authorities were informed shortly after about reports of blood in the apartment building elevator. They looked at the apartment's CCTV footage in response to this, and that's when they noticed a man driving up to the building in a black car. The man was also observed using his cell phone while waiting at the elevator and moving throughout the flat. He became a wanted suspect right away, and 5 days after Candy's awful death, the police finally caught him.
Cold-blooded killer off the streets tonight. Police say the man who murdered 26-year-old Elizabeth Laird now behind bars. James Cockerham captured today inside a home on Stopel near Joy Road on Detroit's west side, about 12 minutes from where the victim's body was found outside an apartment building near Shane and East Lafayette. Action News reporter Jen Sean shares what police are now saying about the suspect.
Detroit Police Chief James Craig calls the suspect a career criminal. It's here investigators say he met the victim, Elizabeth Laird, then allegedly raped her and threw her body in a dumpster. 50-year-old James Cockerham was arrested at a house on Stopel Saturday afternoon on the city's west side. He's the man Detroit police say raped and killed 26-year-old Elizabeth Laird. They found her body in a dumpster Wednesday at the Parkview Apartments on the city's east side.
James Cockerham, who is 50 years old, was named as the suspect. It was also revealed that Cockerham was a felon on parole with charges of rape, armed robbery, and registered sex offender. On the night of her kidnapping, Candice and James were captured on camera inside the elevator. Cockerham approached Candy in the elevator and started talking to her. The video also shows the 27-year-old avoiding him because of his unwelcome attempts. He then started hitting Candy while she was fighting for her life, but he was ultimately successful in overpowering her. Sadly, he also killed her, sexually assaulted her, and then disposed of her body in a trash chute. Law enforcement was able to accuse him of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and rape thanks to the evidence the authorities had against him. Cockerham entered a not guilty plea, but the police have a ton of evidence against him, and a conviction would subject him to life in jail. Following his arrest, there were many unanswered concerns regarding the murder of Candy Laird, including how he was able to enter a secured apartment while Cockerham did not reside there, and why no one had overheard the 27-year-old screaming and fighting in the elevator. Since there are many murders, the Candy case should teach many women to defend themselves by obtaining the appropriate tools. Women should even get pepper spray to protect themselves. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.